What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Ariel, if you didn't know. So today's video is going to be something that I've been wanting to do for a while. I recently started doing it. I'm certified in it, but it's basically just my brows. I did a video already on how I thread my brows, how I choose my brows, blah blah blah. That's all fun. But this video will be how I do all that plus something else to make your eyebrows this perfect. My eyebrows are not filled in. This is just how they look right now after I did what I'm going to show you. So if you guys want to see how to get these perfect brows, then keep watching. Okay, so I'm going to start with my thread. So if you saw my last video on this, which was like a while ago, I used thread and then I think I used tweezers in that one too. But this one I'm going to definitely use tweezers, and then I'm going to use thread, and then I'm also going to show you guys how I tint my brows. I'm going to use a pretty long strand, so it should look like that. Don't want to make it too long, because if you make it too long, it's gonna be harder to work with. Okay, so I'm just gonna connect the two ends and then roll them together, and then roll those two together so it's like a knot, and then just like kind of like a knot, and then pull that forward. So then that makes its own little knot. See what I did there? Okay, so I'm gonna take my string and I'm gonna roll those together. So that's why I think the last time I did it a little too long and it was a little bit harder to maneuver, but this time I did it a little bit shorter. So you're gonna roll it in opposite directions, so that way it creates this little kind of thing going on here. Try to make sure the knot isn't in it, because then it's not gonna pull your hair properly. So I'm gonna start with the bottom, and mine are really, really bad right now. Okay, honestly, that was really painful, and I think mine are just way too out of like, they're just way too like rowdy and long right now to just kind of go in with the threading. So I'm going to tweeze some of the longer hairs just to kind of clean it up a bit, so then I could shape it with the threading. Okay, so I tweezed the top a little bit, or not the top, sorry, I tweezed this one a little bit because I really haven't done them in a really long time and it was just a little too crazy. So I'm going to take my thread now and I'm just going to clean up the shape a little bit. Okay, it's not perfect, but it's good enough for me. Like, that's pretty good for me. I like it. I don't think it's bad. With like a mix of like tweezing and threading, I get like a pretty good shape, I think. Okay, and then the same thing for this eyebrow. I'm gonna end up tweezing it first because it's like out of hand, you know? And then I'm gonna thread them, and then we'll see like what the difference is after that. Okay. Okay, so this is kind of how my brows look after they're done. Obviously they're not filled in. There's nothing really happening. This is just what they look like. Now I'm gonna do my one and only absolute favorite thing to do ever since I started doing it. It really, really helps my brows. I don't have to do anything to them. They just look great all the time. I used to pay all the time to get this done because it was like the best thing ever, but then I got certified in it, so now I can do it. And yeah, so I'm going to show you guys what that is. Okay guys, you guys probably know what I'm talking about. It is brow tint. So if you've never gotten your brows tinted before, then you have no idea what you're missing, because it is the best thing in the world. Especially if you fill in your eyebrows every day, this is amazing. I just have my little mixture here. It looks like nothing. It's like the tiniest little bit, but I just mixed it in here with my peroxide and all of that. So I'm just giving it a couple minutes to set. So while that's setting, I'm gonna mark out my brows. Okay, so just like how you would fill in your brows, that's just exactly how I mark out my brows. So the same with the way that you would find your brows to fit your face is you take a little measuring tool, pencil, whatever you have, and just at the edge of your nose to your brow, that's where your brows should start. So I'm gonna do a little mark right there. This is, and I'm just using my my dip brow. Ooh, doesn't want to do it. Okay. And then the same thing on this side. Clearly my brows start a little too far apart. And then to get my arch, I'm just gonna go right in the middle of my nose, through my iris, or my eyeball, my iris, right? Isn't that your iris? Am I stupid? Your pupil of your eye. And then that would be my arches. My arch is pretty accurate. And then to end your brows, same spot at the corner of your lash line. Okay, so mine don't end where they're supposed to. They're supposed to go down a little bit, so we're gonna go down a little bit. So this brow is definitely a little bit thicker than this one, and that's just usually how it is. I'm sure a lot of people have that problem. Their brows just are not symmetrical. So that's okay, the brow tint will fix that. So I'm gonna go into my brow tint. This is black tint. I like to use black tint because I like my brows dark and my eyebrows don't come out jet black, so I'm a-okay with that. Okay, so I'm gonna start with my thicker brow first. So I like to start at the end of my brow and then just kind of, the same way I fill in my eyebrows is the same way I do this. So I'm gonna start with the end. And just draw my eyebrows out really. And I do a thin layer first, just to shape them. And make sure you have Q-tips nearby, just in case you mess up, you can just wipe it off. And then also oil would be really helpful, is if you line your eyes with oil first, and then like around your brows with the oil first, and then put the brow tint on top, because that way you could wipe off if you mess up anywhere easier. Okay guys, I'm sorry my camera stopped recording, but this is what my first brow looks like when I fill it in with my brow tint. So then I'm gonna do my second brow. Okay, so same thing. I'm gonna start at the end and just follow my marks. So this brow, like I said, is a little bit thinner. So I'm gonna follow my marks for now, and then I'm gonna measure it off the other eyebrow to make sure that they're even. So to do the front of my brows, because I have like a nice stiff angled brush, so what I do is I basically, product's on this side, so go to the bottom of my brow and just make strokes upwards. So that way I get a nice clean line. Okay, so like I said, I want to make sure that my brows, or sorry, my skin, oh look, there's marks on my forehead. Okay, I want to make sure that my skin's getting tinted, so I'm really gonna make sure that I can feel it and it's not just on my brows, so there's a nice thick layer on there. I'm just gonna make sure that those guys are even. I mean, they look pretty good to me. Don't forget, your brows are supposed to be sisters, not twins. So don't get too caught up in perfection, because then that's usually when you kind of mess up. So I'm gonna leave this on. I'm gonna set my timer to 15 minutes. Let's do 15 minutes. Sometimes when I do it for 10, it's not enough. So I'm gonna do it for like 15. So my timer is set to 15 minutes and I'm gonna wait. What if I just look like this? Like, hey. I have so many stinking fingerprints on my forehead. This is why you don't do makeup and do these types of things. Okay, so my 15 minutes is up and I just went to get some paper towel and I just wet it, so I have 2 pieces here. And I'm gonna wipe off this one first because I did this one first. So hopefully I don't have like jet black eyebrows. Oh god, this is even gonna make my makeup look even worse. Whatever. So just really hard, just press and wipe. I never should have worn makeup to do this. This was so stupid. And then to make sure you get it all, go backwards. Really just keep wiping until there's nothing left on your cloth. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. Look at that. Don't mind my makeup because, you know, that is a fresh brow. I'm just saying. Okay, so for this one now, same thing. For some odd reason, this one's bigger than this thing is bigger. I don't know. Okay. So really hard, just press. Nothing came off. Okay guys, that is the end of my brow video. I hope you guys liked it. I personally think they came out pretty great. I'm really happy with the way they look. Hopefully you guys think it looks good too. If you don't, then I'm sorry. I don't know. I apologize. But yeah, so hope you guys liked it. Hope you guys learned something. If you guys have any questions, then leave a comment down below. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll be back next time with something new. Bye!